All right, hello and welcome back to another session of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Hope you guys are doing well as always. Hope you guy. Oh my, Drew Goodman. All right. God, it feels hot in my room. I've got the fan up. I'm wearing some glasses, which is never that great when you're wearing headphones. All right, let's move over. I think I just ran over my cable. All right, gameplay. All right, so hope you guys are doing well as always. We're back on for another good session of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, the first game. Great Ace Attorney Adventures, I believe it's called, right? So last session we completed episode 3, right, which we had to defend Mr. McGilded, right? We did it successfully, a not guilty verdict, but it was a bit of a, you know, there was some a bit of a controversy, right? Because the evidence was tampered with 100%, and unfortunately the prosecution couldn't, you know, can't make the claim that the evidence was or was not tampered because there was no other I think there's no evidence, right? No witnesses, right? He just confirmed it from the Scotland Yard. So Mr. McGilded got scot-free, but at the end of it the carriage was burning, right? And in episode 4 we'll get to know what happened, what had happened. And at this point, I should say that we're going in blind. I do know a bit of the beginning of this episode, but I haven't been through the whole thing. So episode 4, 5, and the second game is all blind now. I won't change the title, but I'm just going to say it's going to be a blind playthrough throughout now. So expect some more mistakes, but I don't think that would be the case. Yeah, so I think this is the episode where we do like the actual Ace Attorney, you know, we do a bit of investigating.
I begin to think, Wilson,
and a bit of courtroom.
Turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back. Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Alright, just a day after the event. That makes sense though, makes sense. Alright, did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No, not at all. Alright, it was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? Oh, we went to a hotel. The rooms were so luxurious, I felt like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day, even in the middle of the night. What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Bureau, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. How much did that cost, except? When I learned that we owned £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Whoops. Sorry about that. The building was so impressive and the entrance was so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. How much is a Guinness to pound? I don't really... Guinness to pound? Guinness to pop filter? I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. Oh, I really am sorry. Alright, well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodgings straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in less than 10 days. 10 days or less. London is a scary place. Good morning to you at this early hour. Oh, I think we meet up. Oh, no, we don't meet. I thought we meet up with the detective guy. Oh, yes. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. Man, Suzaru-san is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Stronghand. Oh god, this is weird. I always keep one of my earphones out so I can hear outside. But with glasses, it's never fun. Gotta like... Okay. I think I've got the position here. Alright, I've already been appraised of of events. God damn it, Jeff. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh. No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You are henceforth claimed to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land. I wonder if Stronghand is a good guy. Because I don't feel like it. I'm a lawyer now. Now, in view of your new employment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem. I hope we get into the courtroom thing here, but let's find out. Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure. I don't seem a sense dissatisfaction, do I? It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for? We've seen this already. Consequently, the jury will not be required to prefer whatever. Yeah, I remember this. Can we skip it? We can. I'm assuming he did do it. Like, with all this stuff, I think he did do it. Just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naohodo. It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended. Well, you need to let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry? Yeah, you're a defense attorney. What do you mean, Lord Stronghand? Oh, right. Oh, no, he's going to break the news here. Magnus McGilded passed away immediately following the trial. No. What? Mr. McGilded is dead? There goes the birds. Yeah, he's dead. Apparently. He was trapped inside that carriage. I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk. Alright, let's converse. He's dead? I don't understand. Yeah, the big bombshell of episode 4. What happened? How can he be dead? After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom. Yes, of course. That was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilded had been accused of. Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up with flames. I'm gonna burp, sorry. How could such a thing had happened? That is being investigated as we speak, but already... The police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of Mr. McGilded. That's awful. The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere. A bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could that have happened? Maya? Who knows? That's also being investigated as we speak. Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus. Well, I must be making tracks now. Yeah, he checked. We remember this. Oh, sorry. Okay. An inspection of the omnibus, not to my knowledge. I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. Ah, but then who was Mr. McGilded talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police. No, I'll link back. Poor Mr. McGilded. Unless he did it. Like, fuck him. Fuck that guy. If he actually tampered the evidence. So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? Oh, well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was... Wow. It was wow. Mr. Naruhodo means that the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. Really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. Wow, Suzuha-san has such a way with words. And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones. Well, she read my mind. The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. Alright, thanks. Most advanced in the world, isn't it? Bit ironic since nowadays Japan is kind of forward in technology. It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair. Simple? That was simple? As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose. I don't mean to... I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Stronghad, but the case was anything but simple. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating, I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. Is something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent, wouldn't you agree? Well, I don't know about that. Well, I don't know about that. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit it. That much at least is an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I have prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before. Alright, what's going on? What was he gonna say before? New case. I guess this is what Kazuma means when he was going to change the system, but who knows. Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me it's a murder, and the trial starts in 10 minutes. Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent. What am I talking? As your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different. Oh, I see. Did he just read my mind? That is to say, no one has died, as yet. And the trial will not be today. There's plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. Alright, so it's going to be a 2-day thing. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. Huh? So the trial's tomorrow then. Is everything alright? Oh, yes. I'm just a little confused. That's all. Yesterday's trial was, well, it left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilda's trial. Don't worry, we have a second game. Oh yeah, there's one similarity with yesterday's case. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense. Oh, if the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome. The most terrible end awaits the defendant. Yes, that's right. Ugh, here we go again. I think we're getting started. I think he goes, and then we have to talk to someone else here. Let's find out. Your time's up. You have to excuse me. I'll put the autoplay. As I take a sip here. I need to move my mic a bit here as well. Just the mic. There's something I should like to ask you. Oh, what is that? Yesterday you marked upon something. That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds. Oh, well, Kazuma always used to say, you see, that he wants to learn about how the greatest justice system in the world worked out so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing. Oh? Another thing? Continue. On the way here, on the steamship, he said something to me. It's something very important that I have to do. Something very important. And what exactly would that be? He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he ever made it here in Great Britain. You're out of time. Well, thank you for your enlightened discussion. Mr. Naohodo, what's all this about? Mr. Sogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me. I urge you both to focus your attentions on the man at hand. I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. Yeah, here we go. Who'll be able to appraise you of the details. How long has he been standing there? He's been there for a while. So I wish you the best good luck and bid you farewell. Bid you adieu. Man. There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we better talk to the detective, don't you think? How old am I? I think I'm 17. I think I'm 17. I don't think I can check myself. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. Hey, this is fish and chips. 16? Damn, Maelstrom has 52. Damn, he's a... Never mind, I won't say it. Starts with a D, ends with a... F. Could we trouble you? What do you think? Lovely weather. I don't know why. Well, actually, what's the weather got to do with anything? Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English gent eating out of their hand, you know. Mr. Sarson told me it was foolproof. I'm a busy man, a very busy man. Crime scene to investigate, but I'm here, having to give the likes of you a talking to. Look at that, he's infinite. He can solve all hunger with our fish and chips. I was so sorry. Can you imagine what the officers there will be saying, huh? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. And all because of monking here on a John from a country I never ever heard of. Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard. Going to tatters. No need to rip us apart as well. I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Vinosuke Naohodo, a defense lawyer. Eh? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naohodo's judicial assistant, Sue. Eh? It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it? It is unseasonably fine, I grant you. London's winter don't see a lot of sunshine. Unbelievable. How did you pull that off? What a gem. Lord Stronghead has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. His name is Tobias. I know. I don't remember that. I'm from Scotland's Yard. Gregson. Inspector Gregson? What's the matter with Cesar-san? Oh, she must be in the book. Does this detective's name mean something to her? Inspector Gregson. Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson? You're acting like you know this man, Mrs. Sado. But he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him very well, in fact. Very well? Yes, he features prominently in the ventures of Herlock Sholmes. Oh, in that publication. What's it called again? Rance Magazine? That's right. Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful, friendly rivalry. Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time. Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yanders. Those were his words. That's his highest praise. Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see. That he is not, and thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now. That's great, isn't it? I have to admit to that to start with, I was a little, well, flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation of the yard went through the roof. Oh, that's wonderful. No, it's not. There's nothing more sensitive than a man on the streets. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. Rumors? Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head. Stuff like that. Gosh. Do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you? I think he probably has heard it. Like I said, they whisper. So I can't catch exactly what they're saying. But I know what folk are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Oh dear. Perhaps a sudden rise to fame does change people. It does. It's true. Always does. For the good and for the worse sometimes. So, about the case that the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Doesn't tell really. As far as we're concerned at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. Oh dear, that probably means as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. I wish you were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. The young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she laid it up in hospital unconscious. That's despicable. What sort of cow would attack a poor woman from behind? I suppose you would have finished whoever it was off with a suicidal takedown, would you? That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naohodo. Face yourself in Osuke. You've angered her now. Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. We barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest. So there must have been something left at the scene of that led you to the... yes. Directly at the culprit. Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question. Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one. Sorry? There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now. Why ever not? Simple. It's incriminating evidence. Alright. The prosecutor that's being assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Baroque van Zieks. No! Sounds like you heard of them then. Oh yes, we are very familiar with Lord van Zieks. Believe it to be the harbinger of death itself. The Reaper of the Bailey. Alright, we're talking about the Reaper. Lord Baroque van Zieks, who we faced in court only yesterday. Mr. McGilder told us about him before the trial, didn't he? Oh, okay, I might as well put this in auto. Never mind. Oh, yeah, put on auto. Yeah, the Reaper of Bailey's nickname. I suppose he earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty, is that it? Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zieks, now Hodder secured a verdict of not guilty. And what of it? Oh, well, I think... Alright, this is telling us what the story is. That means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant. No, you really don't have a clue, do you? What do you mean? Yeah, here it is. I think I kind of spoiled it. But yeah, this is what he means. What happened to the bloke in the end, eh? He's dead. Ah, Magnus McGilder came a cropper in the omnibus when it went up in flames. So you can't rightly say you saved the defendant, can you? What? What are you saying? Look, if Van Zieks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'll be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles. He works magic. Black magic. I've had a good long think about it if I were you. Are we really supposed to believe that? That's a bit, yeah, that's a bit far-fetched, ain't it? But who knows? I think that's it. Right, well, I filled you in as requested. I'm very nearly out of chips. Man, he was like growing some of them. I don't think he's ran out. I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying on a few investigations there. It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place? That's correct, ma'am. And if you head over there, head to the holding cells, you can be the criminal himself. Sorry, I'm messing up myself. You've branded him as a criminal already. He's as good as shaking like a leaf in a cell. He is. He'll give you a good chuckle if nothing else. He's Imnade 53. Speak to the jailer and show you the way. Imnade 53. Thank you. And he's gone. There we go. So, there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Mr. Naohodo? To tell the truth, when I recalled the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in the court again is... Well, if you think too much for it, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage too. But if the man they've arrested is innocent, you could well imagine he'll be shaking like a leaf in his cell. I, for one, wouldn't have found the side of that funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. I'm really not sure if I'm really able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try, so I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Do you really think you had to ask? After all, I'm your judicial assistant, of course. Thank you. So then, shall we? Yes. Let's go. Alright, off we go. We'll go to Briar Road first. Get some evidence. Is it called Briar or Brer? Briar. I don't know. Let's see a wrecked thingamajig. A wrecked bicycle. So this is where it happened. Briar Road. Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo. Look at the regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard is here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. True, they're often depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I've ever come close to this. To a real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Of course. I have to try one on one day. What? What did I just read? Well, I hope your Hattie dreams come true. Your Hattie dream come true. I don't see Inspector Gregson anyway. Shall we see if we can sneak past and investigate the scene of the stabbing? Why should we sneak? I don't want to upset one of the bobbies and be butted on the head by one of those helmets. My skull will crack into two, I'm sure. Oh no, an English body would never do such a thing. This is a land of gentlemen, you know? Yeah, back then. What do we do? Do we talk? That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. I think perhaps we're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you've prone to. It does you no favors at all. Alright. What? Do we look forward? I guess we'll examine everything. Oh! That's the Scotland Yard's carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to the crime scenes and cart away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then. That would mean being arrested in order to ride it. Wouldn't it? Still, if it is the only way, help me find one good stone. No, I wasn't serious. Yeah, what are you thinking, Cesaro? Alright, what a delightful snowman. I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy though. Oh, it has a scarf, look. You need one if you were out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment too. I still can't afford a scarf. Oh guys. Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his. But the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yeah, I know, you're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, wouldn't it? It's covered in snow. Alright, let's move forward. Screw these guys. It's a broken bicycle here. Oh, a British bicycle, look. Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. These bicycles has become extremely popular in London recently. Hold on. Alright, I just need to burp there. Goodness, did you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you ever try walking on stilts and fall into a river, I know you would agree with me. Well, stilts, I don't know about stilts. Stilts are so weird. to... Well, it's not weird. It's just that... I don't know. I don't know where this conversation is going. Like, I remember like way back when I was a kid using stilts. It's not like wooden stilts, but it was like one of those like bucket stilts, and you know, it's like an upside down bucket, and there was like some rope that was attached to it. Those kind of stilts. Those ones are like a hazard. Like, you can slip with those if you're not doing it right. If you're so reckless with those. I get the analogy. But I feel like bicycles are much more, I'll say, balanced, more firmer. I don't know. Stilts are way more dangerous than bicycles, basically, is what I'm saying. Alright. The patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. It's a very wide open space, isn't it? That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could be hiding. Oi! What are you foreigners doing here? What kind of accent I'm doing? Oh, just investigating the scene, officer. Inspiring with the mustache fella from Japan, are you? Inspiring? Come here. To destroy evidence, have you? Get out of here before I give you an hiding. Go on. What? An hiding? Go on. What do you mean hiding? Hiding? Riding? Kiding? Jiding? Gliding? Riding? I don't know. Alright, we've done that. Are we done here? I think we're done here, maybe, perhaps. I don't think there's anything... Maybe the road's here? Alright. The road itself is covered in carriage tracks. It seems carriages often traveling down Briar Road. I think we go. I think that's it. Alright. Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruto, and dressed all in black. I worry coachman might not see you and you could be flying by horses. Well, thank you for the rather small concern. Alright, let's check the buildings here. Oh, look, the windows of the buildings there. There are no windows. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're all filled with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment? There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Oh dear, everything feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. I wonder why as well. I wonder why as well. Alright, let's move to the prison, I guess. Alright. So these are British prison cells. Oh, they're ghastly. It feels like just feels like a dungeon. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruto, you're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in this cell here, but it's so dark at the back there. Can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. So hiding at the back. Is it hiding? Hiding. At the back. And show your face here once. Am I a cat? As yet with no name? Calling me by a number? It's utterly unbelievable. Unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Alliteration. The alliteration god. What do you think is going on here? I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing this. Was I? The triad of complaints was in Japanese. Excuse me, but who? Shh, quiet. All around, hiding. I know they are. Watching, listening, even now. I can sense it. What the hell is this guy? He's very, anxious. Right, so, could I ask you who exactly... There you are. You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you... Japanese, by any chance? This This is beyond my wildest dreams. Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We were just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it. It's been 12 long months since I've left my hometown, and here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatrion's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumentally moving moment. What is with this guy? We could have guessed that this new client Lord Strong had assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese. Ah. What compassion my fellow countrymen shown. To dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nippon. Why is he the Ginyu? Why is he Captain Ginyu? It looks like he could fit in with the Ginyu squad. Oh dear, I think there's been some sort of misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind to tell us what happened? Would you have been detained as a suspect, for example? Oh, why? Yes, I can, I will. Shan't say, sullen, and silent. Alright, thanks for the follow. Manolia Meow. Alright, yes he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you say. My name is Yonosuke Naruhodo. I am Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Suzato. I kind of went a bit too fast. He's a visiting student here sent by the government. Nobly, notoriously named Natsume. Soseki Natsume. Soseki. Alright, let's see what he's got. Let's converse. Soseki Natsume. Soseki Natsume-san. What unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. Alright. Something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? I hope I'm saying that right. You mean alias? An alias. That's right, Naruhodo-san. No. Don't be so prosaic. Whatever. It's much more refined than that. Don't worry, he's more British than me. And haiku. That really reminds me of home. The 575, eh? Did I hear you say you were a visiting student sent here by the government? Alright. Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First, I had to suffer that misery. Now this is beyond the pale. Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No, I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But, just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it? No. Alright, yeah, what do you mean? If they told me to study English literature that I could have understood, that's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable. Alright, I see. Only the other day, I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on white washi. You must be a man of great standing. Oh, yes. So I'm often told. And often like to be told, it seems. Alright, the accusations. What's the accusation? Why is he behind bars? Could you perhaps tell us why you've been arrested, Soseki-san? I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder. Murder? Oh, no. No. It's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? She was stabbed with a knife. Right before my eyes. Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? I didn't see anyone. What? If I've seen the person who did it, do you think I'll be locked up in here? Yeah, but did you see someone stab him? Did you actually see? It seems the case is becoming rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably no. It was good while it lasted, wasn't it, guys? Soseki was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. Alright. He didn't see the attacker? Alright. Did he just see the woman? I don't... Well, maybe we'll get it clear up later on. Alright, about the case. It was an accursed, evening just after the snow have started to clear with heavy fog. All right, let's see. Let's hear. I've been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to the accursed lodgings. Yeah, sure, the book shop was an accursed too. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. All right, a woman wearing a green overcoat. She was, and just as I went to overtake her. Oh, damn. She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Oh, dear. How terrible. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like, ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Alright, there we go. We got that one correct. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. He's shaking, man. He's shaking Stevens. I was terrified. I had to get out of there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to the accursed lodgings. I'm assuming some other guy witnessed it, right? That's not good. They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. Yeah, tell me, Soseki-san. Was the victim an acquaintance of yours? You'll be ridiculous. Do you think I know any of these fair-haired, English, and a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. I see. And a young woman, unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time that it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anyone pass you? Regrettably. Apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one? Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else in the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? Huh? What conundrum? Alright. Hold on a sec. Alright, let me... Auto. Need to take a drink. Alright. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen. Yeah, so how did he got caught? There we go. That's the conundrum. That's what I was thinking, Susato. You are on the right lines here. Surely this man is the culprit. You! What did you just say? Nothing. I didn't say anything. Whoops. Perhaps I thought a little loudly. Yeah, it seems that I think that just means I'm an open book, apparently. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Exactly. Good job, Susato. He didn't touch the victim and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh yeah, she's right. It was him. That accursed great detective. He led the police to me. Oh, I assume it's Herlock Sholmes. God damn it. Accursed great detective. Could it be? I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his hearty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Rash, big-headed, busybody, begone. Yeah, we know. May you be cursed until the end of your days. Hairlock Sholmes. Hairlock. I knew it. It's Herlock Sholmes. It's Hairlock. Didn't know he was German, Mr. Sholmes. Alright, Hairlock Sholmes. I mean, Herlock Sholmes. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. It was the morning after the nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a silver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. He started shouting at me, "This is the police, put the weapon down." Yes, it was a thin silver, and yes, it was hard. But I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting dietary discrimination devils. You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. There he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Hairlock Sholmes. Is actually Herlock Sholmes. He's English. I've since found him that he's a famous name in detection in London. Yes, the great detective is really very well known. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman. Me? This weak, stooped kitten of a man? I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion this time. Do you mean to say that Mr. Shlom's deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. That's only natural. I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing questions after me in impossible English. Greenish foreign film flammery. Film flammery? Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Yeah, hasn't he been here for a fair point? Yeah, good point, good point. But my mind went blank. Yeah, makes sense. And I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles. Manacles? Before I knew it, I was thrown in here. Yep, poor sap. Oh dear. I'm afraid that's highly surprising. I'm fine. He's not fine now. Mr. Naohodo, Esquire. You can just call me Naohodo. And while we're speaking English, a simple Mr. is more than enough. Oh, yes. Alright, yes. They've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. Is it? But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell me what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Yeah, his eyes kind of changed. I wonder why. Well, why? Why is it hard to say yes to me? Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, only on a study tour. Ah, a student? I thought it means like, oh. I have defended the case in the Old Bailey, only the one though. At this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to be believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Oh, I was getting a bit sinister. Oh, now I heard a sound. Right, even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I suppose. But the Ibon, that's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire. It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here, who was my best friend. A keepsake? Oh, damn, damn. His smile and optimism gone. I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, who do you mean? The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me. Goodness, why? Yeah, we've heard this. Why do you say that? The same reason as you noted before, when it happened. There was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laugh at me about me before in my earshot without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said. And of course, the foreigner didn't. They even had the gall to say the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. Yeah, that's awful. That's a bit racist as well. well, you know, old times back then. They're wrong. I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I'm guessing it's prejudice as well. I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. Yeah, but no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. Does he have a strange accent? I wonder what a Japanese accent speaking English sound like. Like speaking good, like fluent English, but a Japanese accent. I wonder. When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Soseki-san, it's just then. Oh, damn. God, damn. Defend the man, Renosuke. Give me a little time, please. Huh? I'll do what I can for the time being. What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us much better chance. I'm sure. Wait, am I? Man, I only got to see English. Even I'm not making coherent sentences. I'll be here all alone waiting for you, locum student, Mr. Naohodo Esquire. We should be going there, Naohodo-san. We have a case to prepare. Alright, yeah, Auf Wiedersehen. Back to Braille Road, I believe. I think we're done here. Oh, there he is. Shaking his head. What's the Japanese delegation here doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. This isn't on the tourist trial. I'm fairly sure I'm losing it. Yes, of course, we're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells there. What do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Bit of prejudice as well. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. Bloke in court tomorrow, whatever happens, then the verdict's a foregone conclusion. Is he gonna die? Saseki, if we get the verdict. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. That makes it worse somehow. I'm gonna ask some. Whoops, hold up. Let's converse. Scotland Yard, Okay, tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, man. Oh, and you know, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. You just make him look the part, seeing the policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city. Oh yes, does he look wonderful? Being a London mobby is hard going, I can tell you. Oh, really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does. Goes round and rows all the laborers on his beat so they could get off to work. What? He wakes people up. Yep. Raps on the window with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit. I had no idea. Yeah, I didn't know as well. The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the relegation's distance. 20 miles. That's pretty far. Yeah, how far there is? It sounds like a long way. It's pretty far. It's probably like 2 districts. From Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot, that's definitely taking a step too far. Yeah, that's probably like 2 like actual towns. Or maybe like a 3rd town. Down. What do you say about street lamps? They have to, yeah, light the street lamps. We do like that. I suppose in between all the duties, Bobby's are expected to investigate cases as well. Yep. Alright, let's put the autoplay on. I need to take a drink. All right, but it's with a heavy heart. I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Your heavy heart will be a heavy head if you do. All right, about the case. It happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago. Just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in hospital. I noticed that she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find about how much. I suppose that means that I've been able to take a statement from her, of course. All right, here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You could take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's Yard's policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. Alright, the stream map. Do you want to investigate now? Anyway, as far as we know, there's no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. Alright, let me check the... Can we examine? Alright, yeah, look at that X. So, Calabash Road, Mearsham Street, and Briar Road here. And it happened around this corner of the pavement. Makes sense. So, who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but because he didn't see anyone. It doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure. How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. The what? We have two variable, very, why did I combine very and reliable? Very reliable witnesses, no, like variable. Yeah, that was, I didn't mean to say that. It was a typical foggy London day, and your Callan obviously didn't see them. There were witnesses now. All right. Okay, let's click on the witnesses. I think I know who the witnesses are. Who are these witnesses? Inspector, a fellow and his wife, and the man was one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard, a retired one or an actual one? A policeman. That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked. Nothing peculiar about that, man. Part and parcel of being a bobby. Catching them banging the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible? Pose that policeman a few questions? That'd be my guess. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. Do we meet them? I don't know. That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. Policeman witnessed this incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you, this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes. As a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes. One more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspect, I hear that it was Mr. Herlock Sholmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks. Oh, alright, let's see tomorrow's trial here. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? Well, after I got my ground, yeah, maybe. Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? Yeah, there's no way to save the man now. It was a waste of time trying. It's all a bit strange though. I assume, you know, like all these killings by Rock, I'm pretty sure it's like some other dude that's killing him. The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now. 5 years, to be precise. Yes, we did hear something to that effect. And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals? The violent ones. That's right, he handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sin. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he accused of, surely. That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So, this isn't some sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, isn't it? Is it? No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taking an interest. Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? I think he does not know. You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of the Lord Darkness? You have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Yeah, we're gonna face him. I can't wait, but an hour has just passed. We got another hour left. I feel like we're gonna do the case tomorrow, I feel like. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was the results of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions. Fiddle faddle. Ah. The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his muck everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gibble gabble. Ah. Ever seen this before? Yeah, that's the magazine, Rants. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Herlock Sholmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called Great Detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone in the Yard, it's a misadventures to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tales at all. Well, I suppose there is an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be thumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. That's a crazy comparison. It can't be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. I mean, I think that's it, but I feel like we have to meet up with someone else here, so we've got a long way to go still. Yeah, I feel like we won't get to the case in 2 hours. Call him Mr. Naruhodo. Can I make a suggestion? Oh, yes. What is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Nasty did blame Sholmes for all this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. And are you going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet Mr. Sholmes again. The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address even. It's Baker Street. How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street. I thought it was 21st Street or 22 Street Baker. I forgot. Was it 21st Street? Well, there must be some way to kind of, for that censorship. We better try to find our way there before Suzasan gets any more excited and unpredictable. Alright, I'll summon a carriage. How about expensive? How about expenses? I thought we were low on the funds. At least we're gonna have a... we don't meet Sherlock Holmes. I remember this. We do meet with Wilson. Iris Wilson. The little girl that we haven't been introduced yet. Looks bright here. Where's the snow?
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Damn, he's got a stack house. he's got a nice, MTV tour houses, house tours. Mr. Sholmes is sweet. So this is where the great detective makes his living. Feels surreal to be here somehow. Yeah, unfortunately he's not here. Yeah. Oh. Is it as described in the stories, Mr. Zato? Mr. Zasan? Many famous cases has been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. Never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. The detective chases the villains relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me. She's obsessed. Well, what do I do here? Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? Yeah, there she is. Hello. Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello. We'll do some talking here. Wait, aren't you... Oh, how rude of me. I'll go and make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. Mrs. Zato, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? think that the king of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Shlomes to take on his case. That the king of where are you? King Wilhelm, excuse me, Gottsreich Sigismund von Ormstein, of course. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Shlomes for a moment and look over there. The tea's brewed and I have freshly baked cake as well. Damn. Ah, it's you. I knew it. Cesar-san recognized her too. She's the one with the big bazooka. Ah, there you are. Yeah, here we go. Well acquainted. And I'm taking that. Yeah. I was looking forward to the trial of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose. Yep. That's her. Iris, I believe. I hope it's Iris. Yep, it was the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGillis' trial in the defendant's antechamber. Or antechamber, right? I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London. Oh, yes, it was. Challenging. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know. Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color? What kind of tea does it... Yeah, what kind of tea does it look like? Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray, it's a winner. I tried blending different leaves designed to elevate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Shlomes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you? Hurley? Mr. Shlomes to you, surely. Mr. Shlomes was the fellow passenger on the board that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I have no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? If she knows... Did she deduce all those things, do you think? And perhaps more to the point. Why is she here in Mr. Shlomes' suite? Oh, silly me, I haven't introduced myself, have I? Here we go. Big reveal. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I'm sorry to say, but I think either your father or one of your relatives passed away in the first case of this game. I live here together with Hurley. Ah, Iris is it. What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Did you just say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with Cesar-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Inosuke Naohodo, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naohodo's judicial assistant, Suzato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely, Susie and Runo. Got it. Susie and Runo. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. She likes to give us nicknames. I have so much questions for you. I don't know where to start. Yes, and so do I. Oh, wait, don't move out. We need to converse. Iris. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey. Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh, no. Not at all. I'm sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though, at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. 2 of them. Yeah, there it is. Like this. Yeah, gold. Think about now. You left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Ginny? Yeah, she's a professional pickpocket. Well, yeah, so we found out. It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Are you referring to that trial disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly, so I followed her, you see, to get it back. She got that GPS. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. This girl is dangerous. Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician? Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yeah, I wonder who's Hurley. Oh no, Herlock, yeah, alright. What do you mean, technician? I have no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it the role? Is it the roles reverse? Question match? I don't think so. I wouldn't call her. Wait. All right. What is your relationship with Mr. Shlomes? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father. Yeah. All right. Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind of London are very expensive, so we bought a whole house. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner. All right, a roommate. Your roommate. I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10, alas, this year. Well, what are your mother and father? Oh, no. They're not around. Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Wilson. Yeah, we had a... Maybe it was a relative. There must be something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Susie. Alright, never mind. I'm a great fan of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and... Oh, you have a copy of Rant's magazine. Yes, I read every issue. Oh, I've read. No, I read. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. They're very expensive. That is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. Oh, her stories. She's the writer. That's right. Yeah, well, makes sense. That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see. And he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. She does the flick as well. She does the hat flick. It would be a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Ah, my ears kind of hurt. Because I'm wearing them on one side. Alright, I'm switched it, and it's very uncomfortable. That's great. Alright. Maybe I'll put both of them on. Or maybe a good rejig. Alright, so I was in the middle, typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. Before you came? Before you came. So you're the author. Yeah, so I'll let you on a secret if you like. I'm going to call this latest venture The Speckled Band. Oh, The Speckled Band. That's certainly very familiar, of course. I always change one or two details in the story here and there. This time, I've had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually. Yes, and of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but... It's a story. Some periodic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you think? I wonder... Yeah, I wonder what's the dynamic here between Herlock and Iris. I don't know if we're going to get a bit too deep in that. All written by me, yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson. Wait, what? John H. Wilson? Ah, yes, that's me. Wait, isn't John H... Yeah, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's true, I am a doctor of medicine. No, at 10 years old? At 10 years old, she must have big brain. Big brain, 5 head. But, Dr. Wilson's an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A 10-year-old girl writing stories, yeah. A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. Makes sense, makes sense. Maybe when she's older. Maybe when she's like 16 or 18. Plus, is Alisan. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart. It's still impressive, don't you think? Alright, your deductions just now. Yeah, maybe she's the genius. I don't know. I don't fucking know. How the fuck is Herlock like the smartest guy? How is he solving cases? What's on your mind, Runo? How did you know that I was a lawyer? We just arrived in London. Yeah. It's only been 2 days. Yeah, difficult trial. How did you know all that? Alright, I'm gonna take a drink here. Her logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh, damn. First of all, I already knew you were a lawyer, Vuno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber, or antechamber. But you also said we only just arrived in London, so how did you know that? I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh, so I was reasonably confident that you must have just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs. The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I? I noticed the red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you, earlier today? Ah. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. I didn't realize. Oh, yeah, I didn't realize as well. And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. Makes sense. So, that's told me that even though you had only yesterday's concluded... Whoa. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday's concluded the trial of Magnus That doesn't make sense to me. What? That doesn't flow well. The two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. Maybe it's my C in English. However, neither of you are wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. Yeah, that led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. Yeah, I feel like it's the roles reversed. I feel like Wilson is the deducer, but I don't know. Maybe Herlock has like an earpiece or something. I don't know. This guy seems to be off the mark, you know, in his deductions. Alright, Mr. Natsume. Now, Vuno has this fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that both of you came from Japan yourselves. So I put two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley Khan. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. Alright, yeah, she's the real genius here. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. Impressive. Wunderbar. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always over there. He's always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Yeah, I feel like she was on the mark right there. That's the real Sherlock Sholmes right there. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed to set in something of Mr. Sloane's delivery. Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is a really good news. Really good news. You can tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please. Oh, we're going for, alright, 200-word essay. Alright, so yesterday, Mr. Sloane's apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying. I feel like we're going to talk to someone. Yeah, we have to talk to someone else. I feel like we're never going to get to the case, are we? Courtroom. I think that'll be for next session. Alright, detective is a popular man. Apparently a woman was stabbed in a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking stute man running away from the scenes. A short, shifty-looking stute man. The alliteration. Mr. Natsume beyond any doubt. Yeah, that's very ironic. Is it ironic? That the alliteration was there to describe him. So that's some detail. That's some translation details. It was a lodging room. Very nearby, he went directly there with the police, and was it fine? A short shift-looking stute man shivering in fear. Yeah, there we go. That's the alliteration. Alright, of course it did. He's a great detective. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Billy says that London is rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear, I haven't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals are caught. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. Makes sense, makes sense. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Suzeki-san. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Shlomes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about the case as well. Well, I expect Hurley is investigating the scene. Of course, the case involving Miss Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Nutsome. Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. Natsume. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Wait, where are we going again? Wait, before we go, lodgings. Alright. Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Didn't you have to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know we expected Gregson. Oh, goody. In that case, give Gregsy this for me, would you? If you do, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. Alright. Ah, my ear hurts. My ear. Wait, I need a... Alright. What it says? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Will that help us? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Is this bribery? Good luck then. I'm going to return to my writing manuscript. The Speckled Land. I'll be making more special blends of tea. So come back again soon. Damn, she's smart. She invents. She writes books. What more can you ask? She truly is the real Sherlock Holmes. Well, Mr. Naruhodo is back to the scene of the crime. What more can you ask her? She give us this yeah? She give us this? We headed back to the scene with Iris' curious note. I wonder what the flickering is, but I think that's just PC. Oh, it's to be continued. Stop the game. Damn, I actually reached a to be continued scene before I ended it. All right, we can still continue more. Let's try to push for the let's try to push for the card, you know, just before the card room. So we got how many minutes left? 30 odd minutes. We could spare a few more as well, so don't worry about that. Railroad. It looks as though the police are still there carrying on with their investigations. Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson. I'm yawning, sorry. I'm yawning. Oh, there he is. Alright. Bam. I got a postcard. Do we read it? The controls are weird. Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Iris Wilson. With the little hand and 5 shillings, huh? Alright, let's find out. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure. We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson. What? For me? From her ladyship? Her ladyship? Give it here at once. Come on, hand over. That's for me. Ah, don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? What's that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously. But it's a little more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee. That's what it is. Appearance fee? What does that mean? Oh, I see. You mean... That's right, for the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, right, okay. She offers me a little financial reward for featuring me every time. 5 shillings, huh? Yeah. I don't know if that's a lot. Of course, her using my name without my say. So it does make me but a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I'm sorry, Inspector, that must be difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what did you want? Alright, I understand now. I didn't really get it last time, but maybe because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, tell the gentleman in black what you want. Alright, the lodgings, okay. Okay, Gretson, please. Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector. We very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ah, the little knife-wielding mustached Japanese fellow. Mustachio. Lives in a right old hovel. It's just over there, look. You even need to ask. On the first floor of that house on the corner where the rack of the bicycle propped up. That is nearby indeed. Oh yeah, if I rightly remember, the landlord is a Mr. John Grady... Gadib? Garydeeb? Garydeeb? Alright. I mean, alright, what do you say? Right, well, if you see her again, make sure you give her ladyship my regards. Alright, don't worry, Inspector, we will. Goodbye for now, then. And long live her ladyship. Excuse me? Wonder why. I wonder what's with the, yeah, the treatment there. Prestige treatment. Well, so then, shall we go and see? Alright, this is where I kind of stopped last time. But, you know, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Let's move in. New locations be added. Thank you. Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Is this his area? I think we'll meet with the thingamajig though. May I help you? Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garydeeb? Garydeeb? Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling? My name is Rinosuke Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Suzeki Natsume. I believe he is taking lodgings here. Alright, we would very much like to ask you some questions about our client. Oh, wonder with the maid. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garydeeb. What's his name? Garydeeb? Garydeb? Garydeeb? I don't know. That was a real-life English maid. I know, as I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. That was the first time I ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better. Certainly feels like that. We've really arrived now, doesn't it? We'll need to meet a butler and the experience will be complete. Well, I'm not sure if I'll go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garydeeb will see you now, this way. Alright, there he is. Oops. Examine. First, is there... Whoa, hold on, what's here? Oh, everything's wrecked. Alright, I gotta use my mouse, sadly. Move over. Good day to you, John Garydeeb at your service. Oh, Garydeb. Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Rinosuke Naruhodo. He's the defense lawyer. I was gonna say attorney. Do you excuse me not getting up? Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maiwand. Don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but I had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's the retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and down stairs now, I can't tell you. Don't get out much, as you can't imagine. Hey, why don't you, invest in the standard... It's called standard stair lift. Stair lift. I don't know why is it called... I don't know. Yeah, it's quite a climb here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panning on top of the stairs. Yeah, you really must, take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. Do you think so? Well, Miss Garydeb, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Joan, fetch the... Ah! Dash it all, woman. Be careful. Oh, dearie me. I do beg your pardon, sir. What happened here? You jolly nearly took the skin off my hands. There's some third-degree burns there. I should be more careful, sir. So, anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. She seems a bit aloof. Now then, I hear you want to hear about this chap lodgings downstairs, is that right? Oh, do we have to investigate his the place? Alright, yeah, let's answer some questions. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in, was it Blightly? I'll forge an alliance with the Empire. He stirs it with his pipe? That's a bit crazy. So this case is much more in the public eye, as it were. Oh. Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, would you believe? Yes, Mr. Holok Shlomes. Huh. Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. Oh, but you have the copy of Rand's magazine here, so... Eh? Huh? Ah, no, Anyway, the chap's investigating the father's room as we speak. Alright, so he's in Soseki-san's room. It's a bally nuisance is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitchy as cause. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling. Alright, let's talk. Let me get some water down as well. As I autoplay. Right, that's the Joan. I wonder why she's doing that. If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. Oh, why? He seemed to have a nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything. I won't be calling this maid as a witness. That's for sure. Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Yeah, so yes, indeed there was. And she's dying to tell us. Alright, here we go, the shady lodger. Had you noticed anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? On my word, yes, the man was shadier than an orchid. Alright, care to elaborate? Well, I think the man's room absolutely stuffed with books. More than anyone could ever read. And he's never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to the old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else is in the house has gone to bed too. Oh, I see. The gentleman's on the ground floor. On the ground floor goes to bed at 9 each night. But I never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Ah. Oh, I wonder why. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh. I understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house, is that correct? That's right, yes, they're both below us on the first entry level. Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? Precise times that they come back in these evenings, for example, even the times they go to bed. Oh, he's going to bed? Yep, poor guy. Good grief, Joan. Be careful, woman. Oh my goodness, sir. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Something doesn't add up here. Alright, the incident 2 days ago. It seems that the incident took place around 5 in the evening. Do you happen to look out the window at the time, around that time? The window? Oh, yeah, there is a window. Yeah, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Barrel Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby? 5 o'clock is dinner time in the good... I don't even know what it is. Garideb? Garideb? Garid... Garide. I don't know. Garideb. I'm going to say Garideb. It would have been dusk already around that order. And with the fog as well, I should think that it would have been impossible for the... Whoops, press the wrong button. To see the other side of the road. Oh, I see. The fog has obscured vision. You notice anything else out of the ordinary then? Such as anything at all, even if it seems unrelatable? Oh, well, yes. Was there something then? Was it particularly simple? Alright. Poor guy. For the love of God, Joan, watch what you're doing. Oh dear me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. What's going on? Be careful, woman. Is she tired? Because she's surveillancing people. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow. Oh, yes. I have an exceedingly good memory as far as I remember. Nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all. Oh, really, Mr. Gary Deb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been. Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of... Joan, Jash at all. What's the matter with you, woman? Begging your pardon, sir? Nothing happened. Ah, yes, quite. Nothing happened, I wonder. We sat down to a quite uneventful meal, huh, Joan? That's right, Mr. Gary Deb. What is the matter with these two? Looks like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. What? I wish I knew. We could examine. Alright. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly, just below us on the first floor. And Mr. Sloane's investigating there even as we speak? Yes, told me Mr. Nats's name. Had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key. Mr. Natsume had engaged Mr. Holmes' service. That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around in Mr. Yeah. Well, your roommate. Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Alright, we need all the clues we can lay our hands on. Shall we? While we're there, we can speak with Mr. Shlomes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. No, you can't really examine. Alright, let's go. I don't think, Alright, so this is, this is all news to me now after this. Oh, damn, it's a pretty dark room. Oh, he has a can! He has a can! Little furry feline. What? Look at this place. Yeah, and smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountain of old books that's responsible for that, and the lack of no window. For some reason. I'll put on auto. As I adjust myself here. So dark in here too. Yeah, the windows... Yeah, it was the window. Yep. So this is where Mr. Natsume lives. By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Shlomes anywhere, have you? No, that's true, but according to what Mr. Gary Deb told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Assume he's right here. Maybe not. Oh, let's examine this section. Oh look, it's a beckoning cat from home. It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him. How do you think you're in a position to comment, Miss Naruto? Are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you bought in your luggage? Well, it could be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted a lucky charm. Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him. Not doing a very good job so far, is it? You mustn't say such things. I didn't say a word. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Yeah, like an open book. There's a cat. Another cat. Oh, damn. And what a very cute feline. Oh my, what an adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away. I don't know about that. He's disappeared into the pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mickey, wasn't it? Do they even have that sort of canning, Great Baron? Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan. That made me feel a little homesick now. Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days. True. Alright, what's over here? The desk seems to be wedged in a crevice between the mountain of books on either side. I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit here, there, and read while stroking his cat. Surrounded on all the sides by these tiring old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well. Yeah, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? There's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your books. Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name on it, look. And the date of the purchase. Ah, 2 days ago at 4:45. The day of the incident. That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. Yeah, so it was 5, right? He must have been on his way back from buying some old books. Alright, we got some evidence here. What else we got here? Books upon books. Look at all those books stacked up there. They're almost reaching the ceiling. They're all works of an English literature, and they all smell so musty. With this volume of books to hand, you'll never be short of reading material, would you? No, what a dreamy idea. My dream, maybe. Me, at least. Mind you, I don't imagine the books that's at the bottom of the pile will ever be read again. Yeah, makes sense. So reading it, it's an experience that comes but once in a lifetime. Just as the tea ceremony teaches us. Didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path to tea ceremony philosophy. About his bag. Maybe this. He's got a bunch of papers here. There are notes scroll all of them in English. It looks like the waste paper basket is so full they've just fallen down. I think Mr. Natsume must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you think? Or deeply averse to tidying up his mess. I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth. Alright. Well, the cat disappeared. Let's move over to the right here. Oh, what's this over here? Nothing. Alright. Oh, hey, here he is. Mr. Herlock Shalom. Ah, look, Mr. Naruto. He wasn't there when we last checked. Ah, there he is. Where did he appear from? He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope he won't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Shlomes. Ah, you two. Good day. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met? Oh, Mr. Shlomes, we were together on the SS Bureau. Yes, of course, the Bureau. And let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma Asogi. He died, tragically. But you were a great help to us. Ah, yes. But of course, the case of Mr. Asogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it? Oh. Well, you seem to remember. Something of it, at least. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Shalom. This is... Oh, no, my dear madame, hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior power of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo. And Mr. Susato. Try the other way around, Mr. Shalom. I lose the first round. Maybe he was just joshing with us. In truth, I hope to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland yanders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to the crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Seki-san in that short an amount of time. I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little. Lil? It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can distend to any extent. Distend. I do my best to forget useless facts lest they should elbow out the... Yeah, I'm losing it. Yes, those are my own words of imitable wisdom. You know, from an adventure entitled A Study in the Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. Alright. Let me take a drink. Alright, about the trivial case, yeah. Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madame, I should only to please. In this murky room, it's an apt place to discuss the murky case. Alright. His arrest. We know this to be the lodge's Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Shlomes. For the stabbing of the young woman outside here on Burrow Road. Natsume, yes. I believe it was the name rather along those lines. Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? I'm sorry, Mr. Zato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean. What? Can't believe he was looking Suzato-san squarely in the eyes while feigning ignorance. I assure you, I am not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh, how? I assure you have no recollection of accusing your two compatriot of the crime. Oh, but that doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to insert in the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Ah, a man seen fleeing. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book place, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop in which they have been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there's a receipt around here somewhere. Yep. So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? That I could not tell you. But it was so abrogating my faculties, hence why I returned here. Oh, this place is such a trove of fascinating books. I found myself quite lost in bibliophilia. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no. Oh dear. Alright, how about the landlord? Tell me, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Gaudi, a retired military man. It was the first time I ever met a soldier from the great British institution that is the services. And it was the first time I ever met a maid from the great British institution that is service. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain Primer, I think. And so conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing of these dwelling therein. Token their social standing, sorry? Which simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. Yep. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. Goodness, how extraordinary. As you can appreciate, for those on a precarious boundary between the middle and the lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. I had no idea. And it's for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically in the retired army veteran Mr. John Garadeb. Oh. Alright, let me look back. Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something, yeah? Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. Yeah, the maid is doing something. She knows what she's doing. Alright, this dingy room. This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later. Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one. Ah, but sooner or later, as I said. I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Shlomes. Why is that there's no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's blocked off, yeah, but it's been completely blocked with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Window tax? There's a window tax back then? That makes sense. Surely not a tax on windows. Precisely that. Oh my goodness. Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their bedrooms. Bedrooms? I was going to say windows. I had bedrooms in my mind. Because there is a bedroom tax currently in the UK. So I guess the bedroom tax kind of... I wouldn't say replaced the window tax. I assume the window tax like disappeared at one point. But the bedroom tax is probably the new thing, right? While the rich open windows here, there, and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing with them with large sums of tax money. How awful and unjust. Yeah, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light. Yeah, indeed. Disease with rife as a result. Some 40 years ago and thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. Alright, yeah, it happened in the past, way in the past. But the legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. Alright, so the window tax is gone. So it wasn't this era, it was like before. Makes sense. Makes sense. It would appear I've done a little digging. And discovered that these lodges were offered at an extraordinarily low price. Makes sense. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, a week ago. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Oh. Still, there is little relevance here, a matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. Well, that's it. Well, I believe I told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Shlomes. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruto. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remember that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? The occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure. On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well, then I congratulate you, sir, on the ambition realized. And so promptly, too. The thing is, it really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? Trust in their innocence? Yes, trust. Mr. Shlomes. Mr. Natsume didn't do it, didn't he? My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Did you come back to investigate? Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 years ago was the Japanese occupant of this room. And there are witnesses who swear to have seen the same man commit the crime. That's all I can say. Ah, and one more thing. What is it, Mr. Shlomes? Tell us. I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is the relevancy to the case, but I'm quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Yeah. Makes sense, yeah? I believe that as well. He's probably a racist, the landlord, for all we know. Alright, I had to clear up my throat a bit. Alright, a busy man indeed. He's gone back to his books in the corner of the room. Alright. I guess we move back into the landlord. I think we'll call it off after this one. After we do this little talk. Ah, you pair again. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forgot his name, hard at work down there? Mr. Herlock Shlomes? Ah yes, rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't my really thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Shlomes is in his element down there. Got a good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan? Now then, why don't you tell me what... Ah! The umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're very well doing? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Huh. Ah, yes, of course. Very rude for me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave if you would be so kind. Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for your assistance. Oh, maybe we'll end it here then. Not all, not all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you can see yourselves out. Come to Mr. Shlom's. Mr. Guru Deeb is hiding something. Or Guru... Yeah, whatever. It says no avenues of investigating seems to open to us at the moment. Perhaps we should do some digging. Well, I see... So who the hell is that on the side? It's Mr. Shlom's. Well. Ah. What's he doing over there? Mr. Shlom's. Ah, we meet again, my dear fellows. Goodness gracious, when did you sneak in there? He's pretty good at sneaking in. Hello, Shlom, sir. At your service. Whatever you were doing over by that window. I'm given to watch. I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madame. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Huh. Well, keeping an eye to one's window at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. Ah, and one other thing, Mr. Nahodo. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Oh. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. Oh, we should be stopping it right now. You know what? Let's play it. Let's play out. No, I know. It takes too long. It actually does take a bit too long. You know what? I'll say... no, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll take it through. I'll take it. You prepared? Yeah, I think so. It's time enough for my one greatly admired deductions. Alright, let's do it. Let's play it through. Mr. Gary Deeb. Though it would be... Oh, Gary Deb. Though it would seem you are a military man of considerable distinguished service. Your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear for me. There are two conclusions I have able to... Yeah, alright, okay. I beg your pardon. The first is that even as we speak, you're concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. Eh? Second is that the result of the beast's violent rampage have lost something very dear to you. Ah, Mr. Nahodo. The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sloane's conclusions are both spot on. How? How could you possibly... What could I possibly know you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. Why, in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Ah. I know too well that beasts are not easily tamed. So, before we begin, once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. The game is afoot. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Aye. Your fruitful glance, Mr. Deeb, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. I don't think that ain't it. Though an army man, you appear unopposing as best. The fact that you fueled your admiration for mighty lion, the king of beasts, was this pitiful, I ask you. In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you try to keep in this very house. What? Oh, he's been slapped on his right side. Then you have imagined. The chilling traces of wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Say ain't so. I wonder... I wonder where this leads. Don't tell me he's coercing. Is that the right word? Coercing with his maid. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, man? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it's plain me with one glance in your direction. Liz? The dress pocket gives a handsome clue. I don't think so. Or protruding from it's a hand-built advertised as a circus show. It could be that. Maybe. I don't know. I sought to dispose the terrifying lion, Mr. Gadib. At Batty Circus, a travel show currently soldiering in a nearby park. I have observed the tent. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. Alright. There's an Indian lion. I don't think that's the case. A rampaging Asiatic lion. Alright, what's the second one? Now, Mr. Gadib. It is plain clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe post, the distress this loss has caused you is vertebrally tangible. Your head weighs heavily on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by the supporting arm. Not then. Alright. Yeah, he's being slapped on his left side. It's the true cause of the pain. Well, they're looking. And we only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, this is the pile of bills that I've been given. No. Ain't it? Weed and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on your financial circles of your household. And so you have no choice but to let it go. Well, Now, in the final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? Yeah, the aftermath of which can be clearly seen on that carpet. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh dear me, what could have caused such a destructive outburst? I'm afraid it's you. Alright. I settle upon the answer. No, it's not that. Not the cakes. There's no creature more dangerous. And the lion with an insatiable appetite. Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tried of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not to spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are perfect. No. No, Sherlock. No. Sherlock, no. Sherlock Holmes. Carpet gnawed by a starving tiger. Or lion. This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. Oh, you're wrong, Sherlock. Ah! What's the matter with you, Joe? And you're pouring scalding hot tea over me. I'm sorry, Mr. Gaudim. I'm afraid I did not notice. My deductions can be startling sharp. That's the reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too. Oh. Mr. Shlomes? Sorry to butt in again. Could I make an observation? I certainly missed now, though. What is it? Again. Well, your deduction just now... Alright, do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room that size? Alright, I'm gonna autoplay it. Go do a BRB for a sec. Alright, I hope I didn't miss much here. Seems like we're getting onto the deductions here. And I don't know whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case, but still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. From the top. From the beginning. Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Okay. Certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see. Alright, we'll see this. On the rampage. What form did the beast take? It's looking somewhere. Where is it? Where does those eyes lead? Not the lion. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you observe Mr. Garrideb's reaction, it seems though some beast did indeed run. Yeah. There's something with a very fierce nature, but it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. What is it then? Let's see his gaze. It'll lead us to the true answer. Oh. Might be this photographic frame right here. What's this photograph? He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass. Don't tell me it's the victim. Don't tell me it's the victim's thing. Is this? Something powerful would be kinder than plump. Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, she certainly looks like that. There's a lot of horsepower in there. That's someone you want to upset, that's for sure. Oh, look. Have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it? Yes, that's an unusual design. Looks like some sort of embellished sunflower. Is it this? Was he looking somewhere else? What else is he looking at? I feel like is this... Yeah, it might be this photo.
Take that!
Alright, it's not that. Almost delivered hidden from view is a photograph. I can assure you that holds the answer. Alright, alright. I should have went in. Whilst precisely contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion. Oh, well. It's my shouldness now, though. Can't perform any peculiar experiments. Off the stage. Well, there it goes. Alright, we're going in. Let me get in there. Well, what do you know with some certainty is that a destructive creature has been at work at this room. It's someone, right? What? Is there something else I'm missing? How about the lion statue? Is there something on the lion statue? Might be just the... Alright, I think. That's like a mouse trying to tell his family that there are cats around the house. Alright, isn't that a bit of a flight of fancy? It's something else. Alright, let's just examine here. Let's go forward. It's the newlywed. Is this?
Take that!
Alright. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the newlywed bride, apparently. You know, it could have been the photograph, but hey. Gotta go into specifics. Yes, this frame print pictures your wife, Mr. Garrideb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they may contain. Oh, indeed, surely a woman of such power constitution will be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be stretching a point. The beast which so clearly savaged this room. Alright. Was your wife? Ah. I'm guessing the maid is his wife? That's a bit crazy, isn't it? Unless he's coercing. Yet as we look around... Alright, we can... Yeah, this angry creature have disappeared to. Madame. You see something. It's chivalrous, but it's plain to me, one glance. He talks about the pictures here, but that ain't it. The dress pocket. Might be her ring, for all we know. Well, I don't know about fragile. Alright, there's no signs. What you said, misses? Yeah, the misses. What is this maid trying to hide? I wonder where his wife could be. Is it the ring? Alright. It is the ring.
Take that!
It is it is the wife. The wedding ring gives us a handsome clue. Alright. Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives it away. But is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Gaideb's bride in this photographic thing. The photographic one. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid, yeah. That's a big of a surprise, yeah. Where's the missus? That's his missus. You are Mr. Gaideb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Gaideb. Alright, we found that out. Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly summarized, this is my wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say she was a bit barley-corker-back. Alright. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired ironman, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. The man has his pride, don't you know? My God, it was a sorry thing when a chap couldn't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. You mean Mr. Gaideb has his wife work as his maid? But why though? Yeah. Oh, well, for the... Well, he just explained it, right? Just 5 seconds ago. For that status. Only in company of course, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Fair enough. Tip-top secret, please. Alright. Fair enough. Makes sense as far as image, right? His status. A raging wife of Mr. Gaideb. Alright, how about this carpet? I'm assuming it's the candle. Burn it. Now, Mr. Gaideb, I'm assuming it's gonna... You know, I think I know what's gonna happen here. He has deep feelings. Alright, he's... Yeah, there we go. Indeed, in that blue pose, the distress this loss has caused you. Yep. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel is the supporting arm. No, it's not. It's not the arm, it's the slap that you just got. He is quite something. Calling his wife a beast. Yes, as a woman, that rather feels uncomfortable. But Mrs. Gaideb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true. So perhaps that's the pointing arm that seems to be propping up his head. That's some other significance then, yeah. What could that pose really signify? Well, we know. Bam, the handprint mark. If we could get over. The slap cheek. There we go.
Take that!
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. Be a pretty hefty one as well. Of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade. Was you, Madame Joan Gaideb? Oh yes. Gaideb. You have been desperate to hide that slap mark of your yes. Ah. Oh, the blazers. How did you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, Let's continue on now. Let's proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? Being a bit naughty, that's why. He's been doing it on the job, eh? In other words, we must ask ourselves what cause. Alright, let's see. And we only need to follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. No. Pile of bills. No, I don't think that's it. Didn't Mr. Sloan say that the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but we established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all our food was Mr. Gary Deeb's wife. Mr. Naohodo. She's a person, not a thing. Yes, well, he's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that he left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? He's being a cheeky little devil, ain't he? I don't know. Is it the bills? I don't know. What was it? Oh. Oh, he has been coercing, but not with the missus. The dirty devil. The dirty devil. Oh, somebody must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here. Look, we'll find out. He's an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh, so it isn't. It's no. Let's see what it is. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Oh, look next to the signature here. Lip marks made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture. Oh, maybe it's a bit of a misunderstanding. You're getting an idea, says Alisan. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then. Oh. Yeah, there we go. It's this love loan.
Take that!
Yes, it is the love note that has been given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the scent of this nose, the scent of Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here. Ah! Is his name James? But I don't know the Bali woman. Is his name James? John. Yeah, his name is John. You don't know her. The note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I didn't know how it got there. Just in there. Wait, isn't James a man? Oh no, his name is Sosuke. Soseki. That's right. That's what I've been saying. Ah. A likely story. Now listen here, Joan Old Thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at the second-hand place, and that note must have been left in there. So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right. That's what I've been saying. Yeah. A likely story. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you forgot it, is John. Yeah. Oh, guy. Getting tormented. A likely story. Are you questioning my name now? Jesus Christ. There we have it. Arouse the suspicion of the female heart, and you unleash a beast with a most ferocious bite. Ugh. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? Did she? Yeah, the candle here. I think a bit of an accident. I think they went into a bit of a scuffle. Oh dearie me. What could have caused such a disgusting outburst? He's looking somewhere. This time, madame, I'm afraid it's you who have inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Alright. I think it's the candelabrum. It's the candle, right? Surely Miss Garrity didn't eat the carbon. No, of course not. But there doesn't seem any doubt that the state of disarray that the room is in is a result of her... Was it wild power, he said? Alright, the last part. Not too hard. It was just a candle. Really explains a lot. Can we check this, right? Yes, and according to Mr. Slum's deduction. Oh, look here. What is it? If you look closely at the edge, you see a scorch marks. Oh, yes, you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't needed in the normal sense at all. Let's rethink this within our mind. No, the candle. Can I not pick the candle? Are we going through it? Alright. That means it's the... We'll just go here then. The candlestick, yeah. This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. Looks to me that even the slightest knock will make it topple over. Oh dear, yeah, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a close look at this. There's only two. Yeah, there's only one candle missing. Why is that, I wonder? Why is there one candle? Can we... I think it's just the candlestick, I believe. There we go. Say we did. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we only need to look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly gives the truth away. Scorch marks. Alright. Mrs. Garadeb's mighty arm must have left an impression, not only on her husband's face. With the candle, yeah. But the entire room. Damn, he went flying. And in seconds, the candle was alight. Yeah. That's what happened. I'm surprised the house didn't go on fire. Like, really set on fire. And in this room, the ferocious beast bared his claws and eloquently put, my dear fellows. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. Alright, they're gonna fly in. After the sparks of Marvel discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Rightly so. Mr. Shalom, sir. I salute to you. Here we go. Solve the case. Deduction complete. Elementary. Yeah, elementary, guys. Whoops. I was meant to show that. Is these dash long winters nice, you know? Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. It's just my script. Don't worry. Buy all the novels. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discover some rather illicit material. Alright, for which your wife admonished... what? You harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonish. Demolish might be rather closer to the mark. Alright. Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. Alright, so he didn't see it. Or maybe he did. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We had to hide the mess behind the screen for the time being. Over here, Mr. Garadeb. Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you allow me. Oh, damn. That's some damage. Had all my favorite old novels in that case, but as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Gosh. Did the wife start hurling things at me? Alright. That's why it's such a mess everywhere. What a terrible sight it must have been. There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozens. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Ah yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you the tile didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage. Mr. Slum's deductions turned out to be correct once again. It can be only described as the Great British Wonder. I'll tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in the full fettle. Of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think. So exactly the same time the victim was stabbed, yeah. A terrifying incident was unfolding outside of your window on the street. Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blythe could have been flying outside my window at the moment. I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing. Oh, really? Mr. Shlomes. Yes, now, Heldo? What can I do for you? Well, I think we gotta get to the bottom of Mr. Garadeb's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Nasame's circumstances? Well, that means there's no witnesses. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired Iron Man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be irrelevant or not. I just knew you were gonna say that. Now, Mr. Naohodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of the two categories, those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? 16 hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh, no. Is it that time already? Alright, if we accept Mr. Nasume's just scratch hard. Scratch a bit too hard there. That's it. No more time to think. We don't really have much, do we? Perhaps you'd like to betake yourself to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garadeb. Of course, I'm sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Suzuki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. I think we should stop it here now. I think it's a good time. Alright, back to the title. We're gonna save it. Yeah, let's do here. Alright, good session all around. Good session all around. Yeah, that was it for the Great Ace Attorney for us. When I'm gonna next stream? Another 2 days from now. What's my schedule looking like? What day is it today? Friday. Alright. Yeah, it'll be Sunday next. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Alright, yeah, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoy this session of the Great Ace Attorney, and I'll see you guys next time. I'll catch you guys later.